I'm the Naked Cowboy here on Mack Talks. All that other bullshit walks. What's up, Scott? How you doing?
Woo. Welcome to the Mack Talks, everybody. I am your host, Scott Johnson. Chase Hutchison is my co-host.
What's up, everybody?
We are here in Times Square interviewing one of the hardest hustling entrepreneurials out there. I think you know who he is because he just introed us in. Chase, tell the Naked Cowboy and our audience what our program is all about.
As always, guys, if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or community leader, the Mack Talks are the vehicle that bring you the stories you need to hear.
That is right. Mr. Cowboy, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to meet you guys.
Chase,
Again.
do our intro for
All
the
right.
Cowboy.
Very excited to have this guest on the podcast. Some call him the GOAT of Times Square. Today we have Robert Burck, a.k.a. the Naked Cowboy. He's a world-famous street performer, recording artist who wears cowboy boots, a hat, and briefs in New York City's Times Square. He began his career in 1998 and has since continued to expand his brand beyond Times Square. In the last 20 years, he's successfully penetrated the wine industry with Naked Wines. He's got Naked Oysters, Naked Cowboy Oysters. He's written his own eponymous autobiography, and he's also, fun fact, ordained minister. Mr.
Welcome,
Naked
sir.
Cowboy, welcome to the
Most
podcast.
people just assume I'm a minister right off the bat.
So thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to join us. I know we're pretty much sitting in your office here in Times Square.
Absolutely. Love it.
I love your story. You know, you've had quite a journey, and I'd love to just kind of dig in and kind of peel that back a little bit.
Let's go. Where do you want to start?
All right, so tell us a little bit about how you kind of got this whole entire thing going and how you've created this awesome brand that you've created.
Well, I always start with, basically, when I was an adolescent, young kid, I was kind of a real attention freak. Hard to believe.
Yep.
My life was characterized by just making trouble and being like a little pain in the butt to everybody. Although, I mean, people loved me and thought I was a nice guy, but I was just always devious and doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I came across a book called Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins. Of course, everybody knows him. He's probably the greatest motivational speaker of all time. Just because of the time he comes in, and he's just an amazing guy.
Yep.
So I read Unlimited Power, and Awaken the Giant Within was the next book, but I was a complete addict on these two books. I wrote out my goals. I brought this with me just to kind of demonstrate, but it's...
I love it. Look at that, huh?
It's 25 years old, this document. I've been on stair climbers with it, ellipticals. I run with it. I know it by heart.
You better have a scanned copy of that thing, man.
Send my dictaphone. Well, somewhere it's written down, but it doesn't matter. I know it by heart.
Yeah.
But either way, I became I went from just knowing or thinking I was God and I could do anything. I was a very arrogant person to reading that book and becoming self-reflect, like, well, what do I have physically? What do I have financially? What do I, and really looking at, so I started writing goals. I was going to be the most celebrated entertainer of all time, the richest, most famous man in the world, exponential growth of my name, brand, and net worth at all times. This is the day the Lord has made. I'll rejoice and be glad in it. I only win, I never lose. Impervious to setback, frustration, or deviation of any sort. So, I mean, so this
mantra.
Yeah, I mean, it's
it.
Thousands of mantras, and like I said, I live with this stuff every single morning, every night, and when I'm here, this is the embodiment of actually being the Naked Cowboy. So anyway, that was my mindset.
Yep.
1998.
Where'd you grow up? Where are you from?
I'm from Green Hills, Ohio. I actually just got back yesterday. I drove there.
Nice.
And did a harvest fest in my hometown with the mayor there. My dad's on city council, fireman 30 years, city council for 30 years.
Nice.
He's been retired for 10 from both of them. He still works for, he's a real go-getter.
That's awesome.
Very wealthy, nicest house in the village. So my parents are also very, they were conducive. It's not just nature that I'm so wonderful, it's by nurture as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Little Nietzsche there.
Yeah.
So
and then
anyway,
you went out west, right?
So basically I had this whole mindset. I had been on the Jerry Springer show as a stripper. I'd been anything you can, I shot for magazine.
Nothing like, are you the father? Is Naked Cowboy the father? No, this is pre-Naked Cowboy.
My dad actually, he weighs almost 300 pounds everywhere he goes. He pulls out my card and says, I'm the father of Naked Cowboy. He got his physique from me. He's also the funniest man in the world.
Yeah.
I don't want his money when he goes. I want the title. I want to be the funniest man in the world.
Yep. No, I hear you. So carry on,
let me give you, so anyway, I had this mindset and I was doing everything I could to get on TV, Jenny, sending tapes into different shows.
Yep.
I get a call to do Venice, to do Playgirl magazine, to shoot for a nude magazine. And again, at that time I'm thinking, wow, I'm going to be on a major magazine. They're going to pick me right out of there and throw me in the movie. I was very naive as to how quick things would happen. Tony Robbins says most people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. So it's kind of that, I had that, delusional self-confidence. I was not going to stop. But again, I built it into my head. So I'm in Venice Beach, California, shooting for a nude magazine. And when I wasn't shooting, I went down to the Venice Beach boardwalk in my cowboy outfit because I was a budding country singer. Had jeans, hat, boots, everything. I mean, I was dressed. Was ignored the entire day. The photographer suggested playing in my underwear, and that became the epiphany. As soon as I got my underwear, people took pictures all day. I got on the news, and I was a tyrant. I had already planned the whole thing out. I just needed a vehicle, and that became the vehicle instantaneously. I mean, I was already working out as a bodybuilder. I was singing, and I was a stripper. I mean, go fig. I mean,
you were bound to hit something.
People call me a genius. It's like everything that ever came to me was by someone else just pointing out the complete obvious that I was totally eluded me.
Yeah.
But I was wise enough to keep my eyes open, my ears open, and listen and to do it. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
So I play on the beach. That happens. He calls me Naked Cowboy. I go back to Cincinnati. I went straight down to my hometown, Fountain Square in Cincinnati. Did the same thing there. Got arrested. Got a citation. But the news heard about it, and I came on the news show the next day. It was a Tricia Mackey morning show. Pulled out my document. I'm going to be most celebrated entertainer of all time. British most famous. I mean, I go on all day. We go to churches. I mean, it's like, it's my subconscious hard drive at all times. Even if I'm grumpy, thoughts create reality. Yeah, whatever. I'm usually thinking the complete opposite, but I've acted so long that my thoughts don't stop me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My thoughts have already been crystallized into actions that I can't avoid.
Yeah, that's great, man.
So you're a born entrepreneur, man.
I remember when I was being a teenager, and literally I got my first little ATM card to go put money in. I'm like, I'm going to cut grass, I'm going to do this, only putting money in, I'll be rich. And then that first expense comes up and it's clean. Then you start again. So it took a while. So anyway, after I did that in Cincinnati, I literally got in my car. I had a beat up BMW, thought it looked cool. But
you're thinking, where can I go where they're not gonna give me a ticket?
Well,
right?
I felt that getting arrested or stopped was the impetus. So I went to Nashville, called the police and the news on myself.
I love it.
I didn't even have a map. I mean, where's Nashville? They told me. I went down, went in the middle of the city, got a Yellow Pages at that time. They had the phone books. I called the news and the police, told them there was a guy playing guitar in his underwear, blah, 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 blah. Went out. And the news and the police came. I got on the news, and I went to Atlanta. I went all the way down to Key West, city to city. I'm talking like 3 cities a day. I'd get on the news. I just called the police. I mean, I just tipped them off.
That is awesome.
They all came. The people would come out invariably, no matter where it was. They'd be whispering, telling people, and then I'd have a crowd, and I'd get ushered
You were
out
a
of town.
content machine before social media, basically. Man. That's what it sounds like to me. This is the social media thing before social media.
I always say the reason Elvis was such a hit was because he came out when television. The reason I'm going to blow Elvis off the map is because I came out when the internet came in. And I'm embedded and entrenched, and it's not going anywhere. And so not only did I go to Key West, I went all the way to California, literally on I-10. In Lafayette, Louisiana, I did the same thing, and I got Inside Edition and a hard copy.
Nice.
So then I realized that those small stories could go national. So, I was learning as I went, all the way to California, like 40 days on the road, I don't know how many miles, arrested 15 times, just detained against my will. I was never charged with
they don't
anything.
ever charge you, right?
I mean, they wanted to see, I guess they were wondering if I was a crazy nut.
Well, you could talk your way out of it, too.
I fooled them every time.
Yeah, right?
And I did that like literally 3 times in a 2-year period. I just kept traveling I thought the phone's going to ring, Calvin Klein, some major thing. And it just didn't happen like that. I just did it day to day to day.
Yeah, just keep grinding, waiting for your opportunity.
A friend suggested, why don't you go east or north, up here, the city, you can get arrested every 2 hours instead of every 12. You don't have to drive so much. So
I love it.
I did, and I came to Times Square, and it was just so much busier. Everybody's taking pictures, so I thought a compound effect of them they're bringing their brand new cameras, they're bringing their podcast, movie cameras. I mean, 4 motion pictures now. I mean, it's all the same stuff. I'm going where the action is, and I followed, I've been to major parades. I do Mardi Gras every year. 17 of the last 20 Mardi Gras I've been there. 17 of the last 20 spring breaks in Panama City Beach and Siesta Key and Daytona Biker Week, doing a whole big tour again.
How much different is it now in Times Square than it was when you started?
People say that all the time, like, "Oh, what was the big change?" One big change was just this mall. They didn't have this mall, so I was the only one here, standing in the middle of 45th and Broadway, right where they cross, on a little medium where they just. Apparently, there was no jurisdiction for that, and less people like me. They got along, Once in a while, somebody might tell me to move.
Yeah, but for
the most part. And I got arrested twice for not moving, and I came back the same day and was on there and saw the same officer who said, "Oh, okay,
right." They're like, "Well, you broke our will, so we'll just
throw it out." And
well, if you're going to be consistent about it,
But every day to me is the same. I mean, it's just an endless crowd of different people, and the same, just waiting for your people to come.
Plus, you always got people coming in trying to kind of bite your style and bite your gig, right? I mean, you have to.
Yeah, how does that?
I think we've been in 4 federal lawsuits.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to kind of get into a little bit.
And,
yeah.
But the billboard that you can actually see it.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw the other one before.
It's
It
a
rotates
big
a little
cute,
bit.
and it had a naked cowboy, basically an M&M with underwear, boots, and hat, with the Empire State Building M&M and the Statue of Liberty M&M, which we were the 3 top tourist attractions at that time. So at least according to, you find a tour guide that says it, and you just quote that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
the rest are illegitimate.
Yeah. So when did you copyright the whole? I mean, you have a copyright trademark.
I have a trademark on Naked Cowboy.
Okay.
And I have a trademark on the image of a guy singing behind a guitar, with a musical note. But basically, so someone couldn't come along and say they're the new cowboy or something. I mean, I was trying to cover all the bases.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But it turned out that also there was a naked cowgirl who came at one point. Her mother was an attorney. She asked if we had any objections. It was a long time ago. I don't even think I was managed by my manager at that point.
Yeah, yep.
Asked if I had any problem with it. I was flattered. I thought it was cool. I didn't see it as a conflict of interest. I saw her as working at 5 o'clock when I was leaving and having people say cowboy, cowgirl all night.
Yeah.
So anyway, but she tried to trademark it, and we have since found now we have, that Naked Cowboy, Naked Cowgirl is the same intellectual property. I own them both. We have not only Naked Cowboy oysters, we have Naked Cowgirl oysters. We have Naked Cowboy and Naked Cowboy, a Sauvignon Blanc, and a Beyond. We have wines. We also have, again, the book. I have like 3 albums: an X-rated country album, and a rock album. I mean, we've done licensing deals.
That's awesome,
with,
man.
We've done more.
Such a
charitable
hustler.
You're a
events.
machine, huh?
Such a
This is the
hustler.
first thing I'm doing today. By the time I leave here at 5 o'clock, I'll probably do 3 major things. I don't even know we're coming.
Yeah,
because
right?
I'm here. And hey, Naked Cowboy, and I jump in, sign the papers, and just, it's nonstop proliferation of the brand.
So let's dig into the trademark a little bit. So when they did that, there's the M&M thing right now popping up. So when they did that, tell us a little bit about the whole entire thing with that lawsuit. And everything,
for
if you
about
could.
2 months, people kept saying they stealing your stuff, and I didn't even walk from 45th to here to look at it.
Yeah,
whatever. I mean, I'm doing stuff. I was so driven. I've always been. So I'm not even looking. I have not one picture of myself anywhere in my belongings. I mean, I don't have it. I'm a minimalist, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to slow me down. But anyway, when I finally did see it, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And then I went to do an album with my manager when I first met him, actually to do a single.
Yep.
And so I went to Nashville, and he was, interested in he saw that, he knew about it, and said we can prosecute this thing. There's no question about it. Do you want me to take care of it? He did, and he became my manager, and he made the whole thing happen. He corrected the attorney's work, and every single thing we've done. His name's Todd Rubenstein, and he is one bad mofo. I mean,
shout out to Todd Rubenstein.
He's proficient on 13 different instruments. He can play the piano like with his elbows. He can play the rock. He was in a band called Tokyo Road. I don't know if that was his band or my brother's band. Either way, but he warmed up for Rat, when he was like a minor.
Yep.
And his manager had custody. I'm just saying, he's amazing. Computer, you name it, anything in the world, he knows everything. He's the smartest guy I ever met.
So you dropped
the lawsuit. And he has managed everything.
So you dropped the lawsuit on Mars, right?
Yes.
Which is the brand
I
that owns
prepared the
it.
briefs.
Yeah. So it was a big suit, wasn't it?
It was for $6 million, and it was resolved, and that's all I'm allowed to say about it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's cool. So tell us about
caught with my pants down.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about some of the other, because you said you had a few, right? Because I would imagine a lot of people just think that, like, what is it like? What about movies? When somebody does a movie and they want to, like, put a fake naked cowboy in it, that's a copyright infringement on you. Like, they got to pay you, right?
Yeah,
that's your brand.
That would require a licensing deal.
Okay.
Actually, one of the lawsuits was with a girl named Sandy Kane. You might even see her today. Well, it's probably a little chilly. She's an older woman.
Yeah, I remember her.
So anyway, she was basically selling a CD that said featured a naked cowboy, and on top of that, she wouldn't sign a licensing agreement to be a naked cowgirl. And if you don't sue them, that becomes public property. So we had no choice.
Yep.
It was awesome because it was me and her in court in our underwear. It was
that's awesome.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, that's great, man.
Actually, I was the Beast.
I don't know.
Believe it or not.
You might have been the beauty.
Even though she's not beautiful. You know how mean and angry I get.
When you be stomping on my trademark.
There was a radio show in Florida that was doing a contest, and they had a naked cowboy working out on the street, and it was a payout type of thing.
Yep.
I guess I don't mention the companies. And there was another one that we lost with CBS television, right down the street.
Yep.
Guy in his underwear, boots, and hat, singing, playing for the girl. We understand now. We've heard that we had a pro bono case.
Yeah.
But we lost. The judge said because there was no insignias on the underwear, boots, and hat, that it wasn't meant to be me, even though they called it. That's what I own, the name Naked Cowboy. And so it was like They
must have had a good lawyer, I guess.
They said the attorney.
CDS.
They said the judge was someone who's known to be a laughing stock in the community.
Yeah, you needed the other judge from the other one.
You just never know.
Because the other one seems like a harder thing to actually. The Eminem thing seems like a little bit harder of a
suit. They said it was a parody and everything.
They just
or that I got famous
stuff.
because of them, not the other way around. Or not that I made them famous, but the bottom line is they were using it because they recognized the value in the in using it. But anyway,
So tell us
those things happen.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about obviously. You're involved in other things as well. So tell us about tell us a little bit about the winery. How did you stumble in upon that? And then the oysters, I think, is kind of a little bit of a crazy idea.
Well, the oysters.
Maybe you should have went. What about Naked Cowboy meatballs?
They gotta be thin. I mean, they gotta be plump and juicy.
I hear you.
They're lean.
You go either way on all those jokes.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Put a sock in it. What? Another one?
Yeah. So when did you start the wine company?
Well, let's start with the oysters because that's our germinator. Basically, a guy named Chris Cortuccio who, hold on, they're after me. Duck, get down low. So anyway, the guy named Chris Cortuccio, he owns Blue Island Oyster Company. He's, been distributing oysters throughout actually the whole country.
Do they have a beer too?
Pardon?
Do they have a beer too?
There's a new Blue Point beer I keep seeing on the Instagram, but I don't think
sorry to
it's.
interrupt.
But
Okay,
they have Blue Point oysters, which are supposedly the rarest and best oyster in the world, next to Naked Cowboys, of course.
Yeah.
Yep. So he was looking. I guess they stumbled across millions of oysters. They come and they go in big beds of them. He was looking for a name that would basically oysters are named after where they're from.
Yeah.
So if it's called like Peconic Bay or what they usually do, they name them after the ports or the bays in Long Island. Nobody knows that unless you're from Long Island.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
So he thought, Naked Cowboy. He just Googled me, called my manager, said he wanted to sell some oysters. My manager said he literally didn't even take him seriously at all.
Yep.
Because it seemed so weird, but
it did.
And it ultimately took off and was done really well. Now my manager's the West Coast distributor. When the housing market went down and he was in the music business and then the internet came out, I mean, he was losing his his pants ripped off in Nashville. He took nothing but his grand piano and a U-Haul, went to California. He started the West Coast operations. Now he has over like 700 restaurants between California and Vegas. He's got all the big casinos. Naked Cowboy, now he's not just selling Naked Cowboys. That's a fraction of what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's got his own lobster company. He's brought together he's doing like a couple $1 million a year now.
That's awesome,
with
man.
Naked Cowboy Enterprises. Anyway, once those oysters were going, company was Dave Barringer. He's one of the Barringers, one of the Barringers.
Yep.
And he had the idea to make a Naked Cowboy wine to be paired with those oysters. So we flew out the Hood River, swam across the river. I mean, it was really wild. It was really amazing scenery down there. But anyway, got to go out there, do that. We promoted the wines, we shot commercials, and now they're incrementally getting them in. There's a lot of hoops to jump to get liquor over lines, and they were the #1 seller on Amazon, Naked Winery, and then Amazon stopped selling wines like 2 weeks after we signed. So the real big value that we would have had just gets pulled right out from under us. But we have the wines and they're growing.
That's good.
We have Naked Cowgirl oysters that are seasonal, and it just keeps growing. I mean, we constantly do appearances.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your appearances. I mean, you've done everything, right? I mean, Letterman,
I've done every
Stern,
bar mitzvah this side of the
like as far as like
birthday parties, fun
but like
parties.
as far as like national TV shows, media stuff.
I've done 4 motion pictures. I'm in New York Minute with the Olsen twins. I'm in Meet Dave with Eddie Murphy. I mean, one of the first things I did was a commercial for Pepsi with Beyonce Knowles, and Spike Lee was the producer. I mean, I did the biggest stuff in the beginning. I'm in rock stars. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean,
it's hustling, man. It's what you do.
Did you ever think like there was a point when you were like, wow, especially during that time, you were like, wow, I made it.
I feel every single day like a complete loser who's balding, getting old. How long am I going to be able to do this? And I feel like I have nothing. I have to hurry up and every time there's a pain or an ache, I'm like, well,
gotta push
like
through.
Like Emerson says, so it's bad, but won't it be worse?
Yep.
Get moving, So I don't take it for granted. I tell my friend, I was telling you about my motivational buddy. I said, look, I don't take it for granted. I don't care if I'm going to do as much as I can while I can. When it's time to die, I'll be like, shoot me, I don't care. I could go today. I've done it all, and I'm going to do more.
What were some of the other movies that you were in? I mean, you did you said you did 4.
Survive This
Yeah.
I was in Sharknado 2 recently.
Yeah,
That was the last one.
Sharknado!
And you
Shout
know
out
I'm a leading
Sharknado.
actor because you could only see my butt in the film.
Yeah, right?
I was walking away.
That's funny. That's funny.
All cameos, basically.
Recently, in the past few years, I think, right? In the past, 5, 6 years, you got married?
I got married February.
Cowgirl?
It'll be 7 years. Yep,
Yeah, we met her last time when we met you when we were down here.
Yep.
She seems like she's great.
Yep,
and
yep.
you guys are, she fits within the mold of everything
She's
that you guys are
100%.
doing.
My father's been married 5 times. I swore I'd never get married as long as I live. My brother's on his 3rd. I mean, I never wanted to be married. I wanted to be free to do what I wanted, but she actually, I don't know, everything changed when I met her. I mean, first of all, I was a lot further along and felt like I couldn't be stopped.
Yeah.
She was very endearing of me and Naked Cowboy. She was a fan of Naked Cowboy before she even knew me.
Yep.
And I don't know, she came from Mexico City. She was brought up with nothing.
Yep.
My father's, although he's rich,
Yeah.
family's rich, very frugal. We,
Yep.
cut the grass for a nickel. Like, go to hell, I ain't cutting it then.
Yeah, exactly.
We were...
That's great.
I know, she was just very
And she comes
complimentary.
down here with you.
She comes here on a regular basis, at least 3 or 4 days a week. She wears, underwear, boots, and hat as well, bikini.
Yeah, right.
And she paints my boots, she's usurped everything I've ever done so that I'm really just, this is all I do. I mean, if I even got to get my oil changed, I'm just like I'm upset.
Yeah.
I have no time.
Yeah,
I
right.
get there and I have to wait 1 minute. Of course, I'm a nice guy, but I'm like...
Yeah, you're in a hurry, man. You're a
It's
hustler.
ridiculous how much of a hurry I'm in.
Yeah.
I got nowhere to go.
That's great, man. That's great.
Yeah.
So, and you met her, where did you meet her?
I met her at the Cranberry Cafe, which is about 200 yards from where we're sitting, just right down here. When she was in high school, when she came here undocumented. Her parents brought her when she was like 12 years old, kicking and screaming. She didn't want to come here. She didn't want to leave her mother.
Yep.
And they brought her here, and she went to college, high school, but when she was in high school, there was a book and had a picture of me in it. She took the picture out, put it on the front of her book, and called it wrote Papacito. So she was like in love with me, never even saw me.
Yeah.
And then her sister, a couple of her sisters, 6 sisters here and 6 in Mexico. So one of her sisters had met me and said, "Oh, you got to meet him, And she kept trying, didn't see me. And then one day I walked in, she got a job at the Cranberry where I went in every day and get sushi because I can walk in my underwear, just grab it, eat it, have a coffee and go.
Yeah, right.
I don't have time to dress up to go in a restaurant.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, I walked in, she said, "Papacito," and I said, "Mamacito."
Yeah.
And that was it. Next thing you know, we're dating. I'm picking her up and driving around the block and hanging out. And next thing
That's
you know,
great.
and then we're married. Went to California, got married at my manager's estate.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So when did you arrive? What year was it when you arrived here in Times Square?
I say the first big story I got was in 2000. I just had a 20-year anniversary here. I just said probably about 20 years. November 8th, we did that, and I made a bronze statue for $10,886, covered it just like Rocky. They put up the microphones,
Oh,
and
that's
everybody
awesome,
spoke
man.
and unveiled it. I mean,
Yeah.
we had like 3 or 4 news things there. Nothing real big. It didn't go like I thought it would. My
Yeah.
manager wanted me to announce that I was retiring. Then it would be a story. And I was
Yeah,
like,
right.
I said I can do it, but I got to come back a week later.
So what's your favorite part about being out here? Because obviously something's got to keep you
The
coming
thing
back.
that drives, I tell you, I can wake up feeling, I seem to be an insomniac nowadays.
Yeah.
I just work so hard during the day. I go to bed at 12, I wake up at 2, and that's it.
Yep.
But whatever, and I work out. I mean, I'm just over it.
Yeah, I mean, you look like you're in great shape. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you work out.
Unless the inside's completely rotten, I'm
Yeah.
doing good.
Yeah, right?
But,
yeah.
well, sorry, I got off focus there. What was your original
No,
question?
I was saying, what's your favorite thing about coming out here? Because there's
so
got
my
to be
point
something.
is no sleep, all this kind of stuff. I mean, I can wake up feeling pretty down.
Yeah.
But again, the first thing I do is sit in my chair with this stuff, so then I'm up.
Yeah.
Then I'll go to the gym, and then I'm up. Then you get in the car, you drive here an hour and a half in traffic, and then you can be here and get out of the car, stiff again, like, I mean,
Yeah, right.
It's a constant overcoming.
Yeah.
Just keep going. But the thing that drives me is when I get here, I pick up the first girl, and she's just tickled to death. And then that, it's you could wait an hour for it, but it happens. And then once it happens, you're going and going. I mean, or even just again coming here every day. So you imagine blizzard, everything.
Yeah.
And, like, the worse it is.
No, I love seeing the pictures of you in the snow.
The second you get there and you make that first, it's like that couldn't have happened unless I got here.
Yep.
And then when you're leaving, like, no, I'm going to do one more round. Like, just count how many things happen, jerk. Get out there and do it, and walk out there again. Boom.
Yeah.
And, there's a film crew. Boom. None of this stuff would happen unless I did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I hear you.
it's
So my question for you is, I mean, as we all know, Times Square is one of the craziest places, right? New York City, like there's a lot of crazy eccentric people here. So what are some of the
It's
craziest
a den of thieves.
What are some of the craziest things that people have asked you to do? Because I'm sure it's pretty...
I just had a guy yesterday, like 250 pounds, asked if he can jump on my back.
Really?
Oh, and my leg still hurts from it.
Oh, you let him do it.
Actually, I didn't that day because I had something I was doing. Oh, I had an event for the Bernie and Sid Comedy Hour.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is just not a day I can risk it. I mean,
yeah.
But generally, people want to, everything. Pick them up, spank them, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing. I'm not in a position to call anything crazy.
I just would imagine some crazy things. I mean, has anybody asked you to do crazy things off premises and stuff like that?
No,
like
never
take
been.
you back to your stripping days?
Everybody says that. Oh, I bet you get a lot of girls. I bet you get.
Yeah.
No, I got one too many.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
I mean, I don't get the one time I think I was you get a couple propositions, but they're always like the most dingy, low life. Oh, you want to go there? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, if there were big Nordic women with blonde hair and blue eyes offering every 5 minutes, believe me, I'd be bragging about it.
Yeah, right.
And I tell you, I didn't do it too. But
so I know you are a huge Trump supporter, correct? I've seen it on your buns.
Trump's gonna take them regulations off the backs of those corporations. Sounds like a good idea to me. Trump's gonna build a wall. That wall's gonna protect us all. Sounds like a good idea to me. You got the economy moving again with lower taxes for you, my friend. Sounds like a good idea to me. Finally scrapped Obamacare. It don't work and it ain't fair. Sounds like a good idea to me. And LGBT's okay, but 3 bathrooms is a little gay. Sounds like a good idea to me. It's gonna go down in the annals. Trump got the bang, Stormy Daniels. Sounds like a good idea to me.
It's the remix version.
Thank God for Donald J. Trump, my friends, making America great again, and that sounds like a good idea to me. I could sing that for like 40 minutes.
Have you ever met Trump before?
No, but I was, from the time he announced, the day he announced, I went to Trump Towers and was in that building, in and out, played in front of it every single day, on camera, everything else, for all the way till the inauguration. Went to the inauguration and played on the big tar, went all the way to the front of the thing and walked through the entire crowd back, and then listened to this the speech on my way home. It was magic.
You still love him? How do you think he's doing? He's doing good?
Greatest president of all time.
Yeah.
Can do no wrong. Nobody cares if Trump is sinning, as long as America's winning. I'm glad he's sinning. I like that.
Yeah. So have you went in front of the White House and played at all, or no?
No, I tried that during the, what administration was it? The Clinton administration. They have a big fence around it. You can't do that.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I found that out when I got there. But actually, when I got there, too, unbeknownst to me, the Monica Lewinsky hearing was going on.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, why don't you go, I think it was Connecticut Avenue or something like that. Went over there was 2 stories of cameras all the way down the block, like major, the biggest news story in the world. Monica's coming out. I went into McDonald's, came out first, and got world news. That was one of my first major, and I drove all the way to Washington. Got that done in 2 days. Didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to play on the White House steps.
Yeah, right?
Well, you got a keen interest in political science. I know one time you tried to run for, was it?
Well, I ran for mayor. Naked Cowboy for mayor of NYC. 'Cause no one's ever done more with less than me. We're gonna create jobs, prevent crime. The city's gonna run on the dime. We had a bat signal, but it was underwear. I mean, it was kind of spoofy in a way, but actually it was more legit than the president. When I ran for president, I just basically announced I had a suit and tie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, if you type in YouTube Naked Cowboy President,
Yeah.
nobody showed up for it.
Yeah.
Because my manager put out Naked Cowboy.
Yep.
They already saw that little song and dance with the mayor, but they didn't know I had it. So I'm in the garage getting ready, reading. I mean, I had a whole Michael Savage, Mark Levin.
Yep.
I took Sean Hay. I took their prescription for a better America, whatever, and I just copied it, read it, did the back study. We
Yeah.
even hired Art Twain, the guy who was a Levi's guy, friend of my manager's, to come and coach me and teach me and all the stuff.
Yep.
So I'm in the garage, and TMZ's coming out of the Viacom building. They saw me there, like, what are you doing, Robert? As I'm running for president, like, we didn't hear about this. I was like, let's do it next week. We'll run it live. So we did it the next week, and we got national news. But it was just an announcement.
I got to be honest with you. I think I'd rather see you as vice president than Mike Pence, maybe. I don't know.
I
Are you a Mike Pence fan, too? I don't know. Are you?
I trust Donald's judgment.
Oh, okay. You trust Big Don's judgment. I saw that you had the Trump across your buns.
Yeah, I have a Trump 2020 guitar in my
You bring that out
down
during
with the horse.
You bring that out
in
during
old corral.
during election season. You
I
bust that out.
Yeah, I have my Trump underwear and my Trump guitar for when duty calls. I mean, just the other day,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was I didn't realize there was a mass shooting that morning.
Oh,
but there's
yeah.
a big crowd of people, and I'm just walking through, and they started, "Hey, Trump!" like cussing and yelling. They were walking this way, I was walking that way. I was like, I didn't know what it was about, but like.
Yeah.
You drew first blood. I went down, put my Trump underwear, came
Yep.
up, and they literally covered me up with their flags, and I had to break it up with the police.
Yep.
I didn't realize, like, there's people hurting here. I didn't know it was about the mass shooting. I just thought they were just haters, like usual. And
What
they
the
started
hell?
it.
Who's this? What the
It's
hell?
a Donald Trump impersonator. Look,
Is that
dang
Donald
good though.
Trump? Oh, look at this guy.
Hey, thank you.
It's the President of the United States, everybody! Oh my God!
Yo, it's Donald Trump!
It's Donald Trump! Thank you, sir.
It's Donald Trump!
It's really Trump! Holy shit! Donald Trump! Stay.
Oh my God, it's Donald!
I had to get up because I'm not sure what.
Yeah, what the hell?
He is
Like,
great, right?
does it look like? Is it? Oh my God! I thought it was really him for a
I'm
second.
still not sure.
Is it him?
His
Like-
voice is different. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you only see pictures.
I mean, he wouldn't be down here at all, like,
He couldn't come out of the car in Times Square.
right? I mean,
When he comes into New York City at all, the roads are. When he goes to Trump Tower, it's like a 4-block radius. You can't even go over there.
yeah. Yeah. Is that Trump? No. Is it really Donald?
It's Dirty Donald!
There's another guy who comes in named Jim Heekins, and he's a Trump impersonator. Same thing. He's got a fake hair that looks funny, but he looks exactly like him. Mannerisms, talk, everything.
Can we start a Trump chant?
Make America great again!
Trump's gonna take those regulations off the backs of those corporations. Ready? Sounds like a good idea to me. Trump's gonna build a wall. That wall's gonna.
Is this fake news? What is going on down here? Is this real news or fake news? What is going on?
Oh my God.
Donald! Donald! Tune into the Mack Talks! Tune into the Mack Talks, Donald! Tune into the Mack Talks! The Mack Talks podcast! Tune in! Wow. Does this happen all the time, though? I mean,
Well, this is obviously a very good impersonator, very good display. I mean, you know.
whoever set this up. Sounds like a good idea. Go ahead.
Sounds like a good idea to me. Gonna protect Israel's Iron Dome to keep those nukes from flying home. Sounds like a good idea to me. Trump supports all the ladies, family leave for their babies. Sounds like a good idea to me.
How are we gonna finish this podcast, bro? Seriously.
Let's just finish it.
So we have a Donald Trump. I don't know if it's Donald Trump. Naked Cowboy.
It's not Donald.
Are you sure, dude?
Are you sure that looks exactly like him?
It does
Sure
look
as
very good.
shit. But you thought it was him. though.
Donald!
Well, it looked so much, and he was
Did
saying.
a pretty good job, right? Like, Donald, the entrepreneurial goat, the goatstest with the mostest. We're not political. I just want to make that very clear for the Mack Talks. We are not a political podcast.
We're about business and growth.
We're about business and growth.
Personal and professional
You know what I mean? Like,
development.
personally, my stance is I don't like any politician. I really don't. I feel as though, and we're not going to get political, but I'm not. I'm in the middle.
Well, you can like
I'm in the
Trump then.
middle.
He's not a politician.
Yeah,
He's
that's
a
what
businessman.
everybody says.
He's a businessman.
That's what everybody says. So,
Here at the Mack Talks, we're all about personal
that was crazy.
and professional development.
He asked me if I vote for him.
oh, he did?
My whole family vote for him.
Oh, wow.
I'm here 33 years. And before, I met Donald Trump on Fifth Avenue. 20 years ago, I talked to him on Fifth Avenue.
Was that Donald Trump?
That's Donald Trump.
That was real Donald
That was
Trump.
Donald?
That's real Donald Trump.
100%.
I know him. I know him.
Okay.
That's him.
Hey,
100%.
it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I hear you, bro. I'm with you.
That's him.
I'm down.
What you gotta do.
Tune into the Mack Talks.
Yes.
Tune into the Mack Talks.
Okay.
All right, take care. Watch out for that camera, bro.
Right here.
Yeah, I hear you. No doubt, no doubt. All right. So let's get back. That guy thought he was really Trump. I don't know if that was really Trump or not, but anyway, that was pretty interesting. huh?
That was Donald Trump. That looked exactly like him.
No, he wouldn't have a navigator. Come on.
It's not Donald Trump.
You think he would take an
Yeah,
Escalade?
I don't. No, I don't. I think, like you said, he would shut it down.
They would have an ambulance in the front and the back of about a 30 truck entourage.
Yeah,
for him
he would
to
have
be
a. He would have
anywhere.
a.
So was it fake or real?
Of
I have
course
no
it was
idea.
Fake.
I have no idea. We're just
Fake.
recording a podcast.
Fake. Come on.
It looked.
No
It
way.
looked like a dead ringer.
He looked very good, but
It
it's
was
not
pretty
Donald.
good though. He got a good crowd going.
He had security with him too. The security guards looked legit
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, the security.
All right, we got to wrap up our interview here with Naked Cowboy, but thank you.
Thank you.
So, all right, that was fun.
That was awesome.
That was good. That's going to make for a good pod, right?
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna top that. Now.
Yeah,
What's the next
exactly.
pod gonna
Well,
be?
I'm gonna put my tail between my legs and get out of here.
If you would have known that was coming.
Right when you think you're somebody.
Yeah, if you would have known that was coming, you would have wore the Trump 2020 on the
There you
buns,
go.
right?
Could have.
That was great. You
What'd
got a
he
good
say to
photo
you?
op
What'd
with
he
him?
say to you?
He said, thanks for supporting me. He was also saying, that's what I said. I walked over. I mean,
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't him. I'm telling you right now. But he looked so good that I was a little bit ambivalent.
for a second.
But he's like, I want to thank you for all your support, this and that. He probably knows I'm a Trump supporter, and that's why he did it.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. That is great. All right, so let's get into a little bit more about Naked Cowboy.
On
was
that
kinda-
note, too,
yeah.
you can see if they were really driving by. But again, they would have. The president
Trump-
did not travel without
I
everything.
get what you're saying. It
But he's a
doesn't make
loose
a lot
cannon,
of
though.
it
Trump
doesn't make-
could be just like, hey,
he
take a
doesn't-
right. He could have been running
He does
the
whatever the hell he wants,
Yeah,
though,
yeah,
right?
I
I mean, he does. If he wants to pull up in Times Square, he'll pull up in Times Square. But
I
also,
have
why
Why
would he do that?
Yeah.
Especially
All
with
right.
everything that's going on. And
So tell us a little bit about what else you have planned in the future for Naked Cowboy, for Times Square.
I literally have not one thing on my calendar except for the 19th of October. I'm going to Staten Island for a Broadway-themed event. Other than that, I have nothing on my schedule for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Things tend to come and go, and they come and they call and they do stuff. And again, I have my contracts and stuff, so still selling like oysters and things like that. But
Yeah. Now, have you ever thought about having some little naked cow babies or
my wife and her family mention that all the time. And as soon as I'm a multi-millionaire,
Then you will?
Then I have 12 assistants like Brad Pitt. Then I'll have a kid because I want to work.
do you think that if you did, that the whole family would come down here with maybe a 5-year-old, an 8-year-old, or would you keep all your kids away from that? Do the Naked Cowboy family.
I have a son who will be a
That
naked
sounds-
cowboy.
Listen,
He will be
he
born
will
naked
be
like
a
myself.
naked cowboy, this child.
he's coming out with a guitar and a hat and a pair of briefs.
The first picture will have boots, hat, and on a diaper. You kidding
Oh,
me?
man,
We got
I
to keep
love
this
it.
legacy going.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do it.
I love it, right? That's awesome.
There can't
man.
be a Times Square without a naked cowboy.
That's true.
There can't.
That's true.
We do have a franchise. I
I'll
have
t-
a black naked cowboy named Titus Gandy. I have another guy worked while I was in Cincinnati, Rob Kaufman. He's a white guy, just about my height. And
Yeah.
he doesn't really work out a whole lot, but he's just a normal-looking guy. And had several cowboys and cowgirls over the years. So we have other cowboys and cowgirls. We have one in Texas, we have one in Vegas, and we have one in Germany. Cowboys
you,
that are licensed and paying fees and working and doing events as naked cowboys.
Yeah. That's awesome. Have you ever thought about a reality TV show? I imagine when you and your wife.
We've been
Do you
turned down
start
for
having-
10 and done 15 pilots that didn't get off the ground.
Really?
But when everybody's
it's
trying
tough.
to do that.
No, I know.
I mean,
and then you gotta,
somebody takes a chance, they do a
But
show.
I see when in my mind, I see like when you start to have a family and start to do all that, it completely changed. You know what I mean? Like I think that's where you're
Everybody says, boy, if you have a baby, you'll be a huge story. Like, yeah, when you do a lawsuit, it's a huge story. But
Yeah,
then the
when
2
you get
days later,
arrested.
the story's gone,
Yeah.
and you're in a lawsuit for the next 6 months.
Yeah,
In this
yeah.
case, the whole world, he's had a baby. And for
Oh,
the next
man, you
35
crack me
years,
up.
I'll be paying for it.
Yeah, you crack me
And
up.
that's
I love
fine.
it.
Again, I'm not putting the cart before the horse. I mean, I want to be completely financially sound.
Yeah.
Before I put myself in a situation, I can't stand to be constrained.
Yeah.
I'm a free man.
That's
in a free
awesome,
country.
man. I hear you, man. I
Trump
hear
2020.
you. Yeah, I hear you. All right, so we'll get ready to wrap up because I know you got a busy day ahead of you and stuff like that.
Maybe a
but
couple
before,
jingles?
yeah, I want you to sing a couple tunes about entrepreneurs, the Mack Talks podcast, bullshit walks, whatever. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and lay down some shit.
I'm the Naked Cowboy here with the Mack Talks broadcast. I'm the Naked Cowboy with the Mack Talks podcast. I'm the Naked Cowboy and I'm swinging my ass.
Swing that ass.
Sorry about the waffles. They made me sit on a chair.
Let's see.
Waffle butt.
Waffle
I don't
buns.
mean to be edgy, but I just got a wedgie. I wrote that. She said I can play that thing. I said the guitar or the organ. Found out she played both over a glass of Captain Morgan. And I drank it.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. All right, man. Well, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I know we did a quick interview a while back. Do you remember you had Chase take off his shirt? It was about.
I can't remember
I'm so
everything.
insensitive.
Listen, man. We came down, right? We did a podcast in. We got a breather, and we did a podcast in not in Times Square, but around here, in like a breather, which is like an Airbnb for offices. And we interviewed Tyler Babin. So then afterwards, we came down here. We just talked to you real quick, right? And I was talking to you with the microphone, and then Chase was standing off to the side, and I was like, this guy looks like you, right? And then you brought him over, and you put the hat on, you put the guitar on him. He took his shirt off, and then you told him because he had some hairs coming out of his nipple. You were like, brother, you got to groom better. And Chase goes, dude, this is all I got, man. I got to hang on to what It was pretty awesome. So then me and you were trying to convince him to drop his pants for the podcast. And I was being so aggressive that you actually told me to stop. I was like, for the show, bro. Come on, do it.
I was like, guys, I'm really not
And
comfortable
you're like,
with that.
dude, leave him alone. Leave him alone, dude. You know what I mean? So we're going to generate lots of really good content with this podcast for you.
Good.
I want Chase to go ahead and give all of your handles. Let everybody know where you can get the wine, where you can get the oysters, where you can see the buns, where you can get the
Book him for an event, anything
anything
like that.
that you need to do. Naked Cowboy is your guy. This guy's a hustler. He's a true entrepreneur, and he's down here every day, you know, giving it all he's got, and he's gonna be multi-millionaire with the 12 assistants like Brad Pitt.
I'll vote for that.
And if
Good.
I miss anything, let me know. So thanks for joining us, everybody. If you're looking to learn more about the Naked Cowboy, you can visit his website, nakedcowboy.com. Find him on Instagram at the Naked Cowboy. Make sure you check out Naked Cowboy Wine, and you check out Naked Cowboy Oysters as well. Got those at over 700 locations, you said?
I don't know.
Who's counting?
Talk to my manager. Right out.
Robert,
the number
Mr.
keeps
Cowboy,
going
thanks for coming on the
Thank
podcast.
you. Thanks for having me.
It was awesome
I
having
appreciate
you.
it.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
For all
man.
of our listeners, if you want to find out more about the Mack Talks, www.macktalks.com. Find us on Facebook, at Mack Talks, on Instagram, SoundCloud, all of it. We're out there.
Now we got to go find out if we were just, you know, bombed with some fake news or not. We got to go figure this shit out now, all right?
Yep, let's
I
go.
bet my life. It's not
Fake
Donald
news?
Trump. No, it's
Say
not
this-
Donald Trump.
Fake news.
No, it's just not Donald Trump. He's an impersonator doing exactly what he just did, which is amazing.
Yeah.
They did an amazing job. Right there.
Awesome.
You see people do stuff, come in and try to make something happen. That guy, they did it
They
right.
did a good job?
It was
Whoever
very
did that?
good.
Awesome.
They tried the whole square.
I know. I loved it.
His voice wasn't the same. And
No.
I know. And again, it's not. He could not be here. In
All
person,
right.
Can't be here.
We're out. Thank you.